You know, there used to be investing shows. Remember Shark Tank back in the day? There's kind of a drought of those, but really, when I look at my feed on X, it's all about
Yeah.
investing and how to accumulate money and so forth. It's time for another investing show. And how about Water on Demand on TV? There is a show now in pre-production called The Raise, which is going to follow the process of Water on Demand and others, but spotlighting Water on Demand with their fundraising process. And this is destined for the free ad-supported streaming TV channel, FAST worldwide, which is huge. It's projected to reach almost $12 billion in 2025. These are all the Roku and YouTube and so forth type broadcasts that are going on. And it is huge, driven by evolving consumer preferences for cost-effective streaming alternatives, meaning it's cheap, it's free, and that is driving a lot of adoption. Well, there is actually a studio that is leading in this area, and that is American Stories Entertainment, and they are doing fascinating shows. For example, Surviving Man is now in season 4, and it airs all over the place on the Pursuit channel. Very, very successful show, one of many by American Stories. The co-founders are Robert and Tolly Cefail, and Robert Cefail is here today. So tell us about how this idea germinated.
Yeah, American Stories has been focusing on different verticals where there's a tremendous demand for viewing, yet there's a very low amount of supply. And if you take a look at the business show space, you've got Shark Tank and you've got nothing else. It's not a reach to say there are hundreds of millions of people worldwide interested in the ins and outs of raising capital. And the thing everybody should understand is there's almost 6 billion cell phone users. And that's the primary platform for viewing content now. I mean, sure, you have smart TVs, which are huge, about 160 million in the U.S. And our channel, American Stories Network, is being uploaded in those as we speak. But you have to take a look at the whole mix of delivery systems, and you have almost 6 billion people with cell phones. That's what American Stories is about. We are delivering our shows. I call us the Hydra. We have many different ways to reach people. It allows us to not get caught up in the cancel culture, but business TV there's a huge demand, lack of supply, and frankly, when I watch what you and your partner Ken were doing, and the amount of knowledge you guys have, it's a natural fit. I mean, smart guys, lots of experience, and that's what our audience wants to see. They want smart guys, lots of experience, learn things, and that's what The Raise is all about.
Well, it's going to be really interesting, and we wanted to go multiple seasons. It is actually very, very important for this country. I think you're going to do a hit TV show, make a lot of money and all that, but more importantly, I think that you're going to give people a lot of knowledge that they're thirsting for, which is how the heck do I raise money?
And the business story behind Bob's brilliant plan is he's the network that he doesn't have to spend a couple $100,000 shooting a pilot and then beg people to pick it up. His genius way of producing television content. This thing is paid for with integrated advertising, which in some way is going to fit. So I'm going to have a lot of fun thinking about all the integrative advertising for The Raise, right? 300,000 companies in America go out of business every year just because of financing. The next cure for cancer, some world-changing invention may never see the light of day, not because it couldn't change everything, but because they ran out of capital. So giving companies insight on how they can get their idea to the market and broadcasting it on American Stories. Of course, American Stories is in its own major growth phase too. We'll be talking about that on a show. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I love the fact that the company that Riggs and I co-founded will be a featured show on there. That might create a lot of excitement for us on the investment front as well.
Quite frankly, I mean, just to give you an idea of the staggering numbers that we're touching outlets. I mean, on just one network, and we have many networks, just one show is rolling out, just broke 4 million minutes viewed a month. When you expose the message of Origin Clear to that many people. I mean, you
Right.
know,
It's right.
you just think about it. I mean,
Right.
you know, I know you guys are in on a raise right now.
Yep.
Whoever's out there better get in, because I am
Yeah.
telling you, this when we license, we're going to license the raise. All of a sudden, you're going to see it on Amazon Prime, Tubi, and a bunch of other multi-letter, streaming channels, and it's just going to be out there. So,
I've talked with a lot of folks in your space too, right? We've had occasions to have some group meetings lately. The thing I thought was really, really exciting. Newsmax recently had an IPO. Now, anybody who followed Newsmax IPO saw the stock. Oh, it was a $10, kind of pre-IPO price. It went to $253 a share within a couple of days, right? I think even now it's probably $40 or $50. So even at this level, it is by every stretch of the imagination a home run. One of the keys to the success, I believe, of that, they did a fundraising prior to IPO. It was a Regulation A, which we can talk more about Water on Demand's Regulation A. We could be live any day, any second now. But what they did was every time they had a broadcast, Newsmax has a very narrow audience, right? And
yep.
they just put that link. Hey, if you want to invest in Newsmax, click here, right? They had, and they just ran it for a couple of years, right? So,
Yep.
it was so oversubscribed that, of course, the company did it fabulously well when it finally went to the market. I think that's a formula for American stories and for Water on Demand, to run that in the scroll, right?
100%.
Maybe not just on the Rays, but on every show you put out. Look,
Well, don't forget, we have Boom America, which Riggs was in. I mean, that's 32 episodes, folks.
right,
32. And it's
right,
starting to roll out right now. And you
right.
bet your riches, we're going to be doing things like what you just described.
If you're running a show like Surviving Man, if Surviving Man has 3 million viewers per season, if 1% of those investors decide they want to put money into company's Regulation A offering at $1,000 minimum investment, that's $30 million. That's 1%. I would estimate that the numbers could be much, much higher, but that's an exciting prospect. And I think that's what you and I kind of developed in our kind of game planning this out over the coming months. So that's really exciting stuff.
And by the way, Regulation A is a industry term, which means crowdfunding. It means anybody can invest, basically. And so it was a revolution when it happened. It is huge for TV because literally somebody in Sumatra can invest $200. I mean, it is amazing what they could do to democratize investment. Thank you all and have a good night. I appreciate your coming on board.
Good night.
And more than you know. Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody.